Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Tamara Raveline, Superintendent for the Visalia Unified School District, and today I'll be hosting our Q&A session. We'll be focusing today on nutritional services, transportation, and sanitation processes while we prepare to reopen our elementary schools. We will also be answering some other questions that were submitted on our form. Today I have the pleasure of introducing to you Regina Ocampo, our Director of Nutritional Services, Vicki Wingfield, Director of Transportation Services, and Jose Llamas, Director of our Custodial Services. They'll be helping me today go through some of our processes that we'll be using when our elementary schools reopen starting on November 30th. So let's start with transportation today. Vicki, what will it look like when a student gets on the bus? What kind of safety precautions will we have in place?
Okay, basically what's going to happen is all of our school bus drivers are going to be
I don't think, yeah, Mike.
All of our school bus drivers will be self-screening before reporting to work every day. And the school bus drivers and students will be wearing masks at all times while on the bus. Our students are going to be asked to practice the social distancing at the bus stop, and we're hoping that there are parents there that are going to help out with that. Once they're on the bus, the students are going to be given hand sanitizer to clean their hands. They're going to be directed to sit in the back of the bus, where they'll have an assigned seat. We're going to fill up the back to the front to limit the exposure. And all the seats on the bus are designated for students, so we've got every other seat that is taped off where they're not allowed to sit. Siblings will be seated together, or students living in the same household. And then once we get to the site, the bus will unload from the front first, and then once the bus is empty, the drivers will be fogging the bus and disinfecting all of the touch points.
So what's the air circulation like on a school bus?
So the air circulation on a bus, it's required by law for a school bus to have a complete change of air every 3 minutes. And in addition, we are going to have the windows down a minimum 3 inches. Depending upon the weather, they could be down further. And then also our roof hatches will be open. So that the air
every
circulates.
3 minutes, the air in the entire bus is exchanged?
Yes.
That is a lot. That's pretty amazing. Can you tell me about the type of cleaning that will occur between the bus runs and who's going to do that?
Okay, the drivers are going to do that. Jose was helpful and got us all foggers. Every driver has been issued a fogger, and they've been trained on the use of the foggers and the solution that we use. They're very well informed about the use of that. And then they'll also be wiping down touch points like the handrails, the modesty panels, anywhere where a student may touch as they're getting on or finding their way back to their seats.
So that'll happen between each bus run to go pick up a new
Every
group
change
of
of students,
Okay.
every change of students at the end of the driver's morning route, and then also at the end of the driver's afternoon route. We also sanitize if the bus is in the shop. Once the bus comes out of the shop, it's sanitized before we put students on it.
Impressive. Thank you. I understand that you have some visuals to share with us
I
today.
do. Let's see. So this is one of the, that's just a picture that one of our bus drivers took, and then that's the stuff I just went over as far as what we're going to do, how we're going to keep the students safe, and as well as the drivers. And the next one, Chuck. And then that's the training. We had to do 4 different back-to-school meetings in order to get our drivers trained while staying socially distant. And then this is what it's going to look like to a student as they're boarding the bus. Their driver's going to greet them with the mask. They're going to get on, and then they're going to be given a squirt. The drivers are going to carry the hand sanitizer. It's not going to be just out there for the students to use that. And then as you can see, like I was talking about, all the seats are taped off, and then there's signs on them that, no seating there. And then the windows are cracked, as you can tell. They're down a minimum of 3 inches, and then our roof vents. And then the students are going to be instructed to go straight to the back of the bus, and the seats, take the seat furthest back that is open to them. Again, siblings will be seated together, and then they're going to load the bus based on every other seat at this point, filling up until they get to the front of the bus and the bus gets full.
I noticed that the seating is staggered across the aisle.
Yes,
so kind of
that's-
zigzags.
That's for social distancing. And then that's the fogger that their drivers are going to use, and like I said, they've been extensively trained in that. And once the students are off, they'll start in the back of the bus, and they'll use the fogger to disinfect.
Have you timed how long it takes to disinfect a bus like that with the fogger?
Less than 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes.
And then when can students get on? Like if you finish fogging?
So the current solution we're using right now has a 4-minute kill time, so that's got to be damp on the seats for 4 minutes. And then once it dries, the students can get on and it's perfectly safe.
So realistically, 6-7 minutes, then you can reload.
Sure. And by the time the driver gets to the first stop, it will be safe for the
Good
students to
point.
get on.
Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing that. That was very informative.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Next, we're going to talk about meal services that will be provided while we're back in school. Regina, would you mind sharing the process for serving breakfast and lunch to students once we start back on November 30th?
So elementary schools will be serving daily.
I think you need your mic on, sorry,
All right.
and talk close to it.
So elementary schools will be serving daily meals to students on campus. So the meals will be a breakfast and a lunch for the day, and they'll be distributed as they leave for the day, once in the AM session and then once in the PM session. On Tuesdays, they will be given 2 breakfasts and 2 lunches, one for Tuesday and one for Wednesday when they will not be on campus. And then meals will be transported to an exit gate or a centralized location to be passed out to the students as they leave for the day. And they'll be packed daily and distributed daily with heating instructions for them to do at home.
That's good. So, for example, on Fridays, let's say I'm a morning student. When I leave Friday at noon, I'll get my lunch, and then will I get my breakfast for next Monday?
Yes, so AM students will be getting lunch for that day and breakfast for the following school day. PM students will actually be getting breakfast and lunch for the following day so that they can eat breakfast and lunch before they come to school.
Okay, so like if I'm an afternoon student, a PM student on Friday, I'll get lunch, I'll get breakfast and lunch for Monday?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Since our students will be back on elementary campuses, and I know not all of them, we have a percentage that are choosing to do full-time distance learning, but when students are back on elementary campuses, will you still be serving the boxes of meals on Thursdays at the elementary sites?
The 5-day meal packs that were distributed at elementary schools will have to be discontinued once daily meals are being served, because USDA does not allow us to serve both types of meals at the same time at the same site. But Thursday 5-day meal pack distribution will continue at all middle schools and high schools for not only secondary students, but for elementary students on full distance learning.
Okay, so if I'm on full-time distance learning, my family can still pick up my meals, the 5 breakfast meals, the 5 lunch meals in the package. I just need to go to a middle school or high school to pick it up.
Yes, and it'll still be the 2 times, the AM time, which is right now 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and then in the evening from 5 to 7 p.m. at all
Okay.
middle schools and high schools.
Okay, thank you. When we're able, and I know we're not close yet, to return to middle schools and high schools, then I would guess it would be the same rules, that we wouldn't be serving the drive-through meals at those sites once students are back.
Yeah, we will have to modify the plan a bit because we will be serving meals on site to those students that are on site. However, we will continue to have some distribution points for those students that are on full-time distance
Okay.
learning. It'll just be at certain sites throughout
Okay.
quadrants of Visalia.
All right, well, thank you so much. That's very helpful. I'm sure a lot of people are concerned about that as they need to feed their children, and that's great information, so thank you for being here and sharing that. Next, we're going to switch to cleaning and sanitizing, and so, Jose, can you share with us the procedures that you're going to use for cleaning and sanitizing?
I got
And I think you've brought some visuals as well, right?
Yes, actually, I got a PowerPoint out there that I
great.
can kind of cover a few things in there. So I know there's been a lot of questions out there, even from our staff or site principals, teachers now, that what are we doing, what are we using and all that. So hopefully in this presentation, we're able to answer some of those questions. So one of the things that we're focused on, we want to make sure that our cleaning standards are the same across the district, okay? Since we had small groups of students over the last month, prior to the students coming into the school site, we as a team, we had kind of delivered, we actually came out with logs, with checklists, and even with the cleaning logs on it. So we're able to monitor the cleaning that is done on a daily basis on the areas that need to be done. Okay? So at this time, I always say that Visalia Unified School District has the best cleaning program in place. Unfortunately, with the COVID-19, we have to really change the way we do the cleaning. So we kind of went with the site base. So the site base is basically the custodians report directly to the site. And the idea with this, so they can kind of get trained on the fogging, on the cleaning of their site. So when larger groups come in, we're going to try to model the same plan, and I think it'll be a lot easier for us. So, and if in case any of the concerns come up from the site, we as a group, we can bring up the site principal, we can make the site custodian and the custodial department to be able to solve those problems and kind of make sure that we place any solution, Bella, if we do. I just want to kind of note, during our decision-making or effective cleaning, and I know we talk about sanitation, I'm going to change this, it's more like cleaning and disinfecting now with the COVID-19. So during the decision of making an effective cleaning procedure, we must follow federal, state, and local guidelines and recommendations. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about, I don't know if you want me to continue? Or
Yeah,
just-
please, let us know.
So why is cleaning so important now? Okay, it is important because due to the COVID-19, some of the strategies that what we used to do on provide the clean and safe environment have changed, especially this year. It's totally different than the years in the past. On top of the normal cleaning, we must disinfect. And we throw the word sanitize, but it's more like disinfect.
Okay.
To assure that, we as a district are taking the proper step to make sure that our staff, our students will stay healthy. So the cleaning is so important on this because if we maintain the cleaning, the sanitation comes up or disinfectant comes up, it looks better. It's like anything else. An area can be disinfect, but if it's not clean, the perception is that it's not disinfected.
That's true.
Okay. So what are the cleaning guidelines that we're using right now? When it comes to classrooms, we're kind of focusing on, whether it's tabletops, student desks, faucets, sinks, countertops, keyboard, definitely, and when it comes to the restroom, there's no shortcuts in there. Everything has to be done in clean and sanitized. We still have, there's some outside areas, we don't know, this can change, but at one point, we probably have to kind of include it. I can share with you that starting next week, we probably have to go in every building, whether there is use or not, to make sure that we maintain it, so as we bring out more kids. So in this picture, you probably see that the cleaning that is taking place, right? And this is on a daily basis, and it's not only once a day. It can be 2 or 3 times a day, dependent. Especially for the sites, they have groups that come. They're on the A and B schedule. Definitely between the second group comes in, definitely we need to go there and clean. So I'm going to talk a little bit more on the products on the next slide and kind of go back to this.
Okay, and that's a lot of extra work between the two groups, A and B, which is why we have a big chunk of time in the middle there to allow your staff to get in and do the disinfecting and the cleaning that you're talking about.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
it is.
you.
It
Yeah.
is just, like I said, it takes some. So this is what I was referring, we have a cleaning schedule. This is daily, multiple times during the day. We have established that the restrooms are clean every 2 hours. So this is across the district. In addition, we always look at the traffic area. It could be the break rooms. It could be, definitely the nurses' room. Any areas out there that we see, and this kind of goes on a site base. So What is this so important is, it is, 'cause we have to maintain during the day, because we don't have control of how many students or staff comes in these places. I know we have listed, like the cafeterias, I think last month we said there was no use of cafeteria, but now they are. So therefore, those areas also include as part of the.
Right, because they're using them for cohorts, not
For
for
assessments
eating,
and
but
those
for other
things.
things, yeah.
Correct. So, we also listed the weight rooms, and I know that at this point, we're not using it, but we want to put them on the list, because definitely this is going to be on the daily cleaning schedule.
Okay, so when we get to that point that we're able to use weight rooms and gyms, then you'll be ready.
Yes, they will be ready. So, I know I listed a few other things, but that's kind of the idea. This is kind of our cleaning daily schedule. We talk about the checklist. So we have the cleaning logs in majority of the classrooms and restrooms. Behind the door, there's a sheet there with a monthly cleaning log, where the custodian, every time he cleans, he needs to make sure he initially put the date of the cleaning. And this has been really, really helpful to us in order to support even our staff right now. Okay, so we're going to continue to do that and make that. I'm not going to mention that we also use kind of like the blue tape in terms of trying to see what teachers are going in or not. We're still going to leave that in there, but again, saying that we're going to actually focus on cleaning all the classroom starting on Monday. So, what cleaning resources equipment we use to do that? So, this is one of probably the toughest position a supervisor can be when he's trying to look out for the right chemical and the right product. Not only we want to look the product is efficient, but the priority too is to make sure it's safe. Safe for the people that are using it in our department, safe for the students, safe for the staff, and for everybody. So I can share with you that most of our products are hospital-grade products out there. They're more on the neutral level, so that's a plus for us. So we have plenty an inventory, and I just kind of, I know some of the pictures in the back when you see cleaning the sinks or restrooms. Keep in mind that not all these products can be used on foggers. So this is part of the training we do with our the night crew and the site custodian, to make sure that they're trained and they don't use the wrong product. Some of this product, I can share with you that we've been lucky. One of these products that we have, we've been using it for more than 10 years, and it happened to be effective against COVID. This product we use is to clean, whether with a spray bottle, a sponge, a cloth. We use a lot of microfibers on that, so we continue to do that.
That's excellent, thank you.
In addition, we have soap dispensers available throughout the school site. Whether they're, majority of the soap, they're actually wall-mounted. They have to be because we need the water source. They're mainly by the sinks. But for the areas that we don't have the water, then we are providing the hand sanitizer, whether it's a dispenser or whether it's a bottle. And I just want to say this, that these products are pretty much color code. So we have those. That's, again, I had a picture of one of the touch-free hand sanitizer. Definitely we're focusing on. I'm really hoping that in the next few weeks we're going to have more available. Right now we have at least 2 to 3 per site, but that's going to increase.
And that's the black and white
Yes, that's actually the stand.
freestanding
Yeah.
one that's in the second picture.
Yeah.
So you just put your hand under it and it
Exactly,
self-dispenses?
yeah, you don't have to
okay.
touch it, so it's run by battery, you just touch it there, it just goes. So we're gonna have more available there. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna come up really handy, and they're portable units, you can put in whatever you need them.
I've seen a lot of school sites putting those at the gates where students
Yes.
will come in, so they'll sanitize right away.
And the way I see it myself, especially for our department, it's just another layer of protection.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we talk about the resources and the equipment. You probably see the picture out there that we use when it comes to fog a classroom. We've been training everybody out there, at least in our department, which whether our site custodians, whether night custodians, and this unit, like I said, it's just more like a mist sprayer fogger, and I think a lot of people have in their mind that they're foggers. Well, they're mist sprayers.
Okay.
You have total control on this and see how much liquid you want to apply to it. Yeah. Keep in mind that some of these products, like Vicki said, they have a kill time. The dwell time is really important on this product, and not just a spray and go. You have to let them set to ensure that they're effective as a disinfectant or as a quad disinfectant. So I can tell you that we're on the training, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get better. Right now, we probably average ourselves between 3 to 4 minutes to fog one of the classrooms.
So if it takes, let's say, 4 minutes to fog the classroom, and then does it also need to sit there for 4 minutes?
Yeah, no, this one needs to set, to see if we use the BIOS, yes, it needs to leave at least for 4 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, during the fogging is really important. We want to make sure there's no students in the classrooms, even though their products are safe. We just don't want, it's just we're all different. Sometimes we might be sensitive to the smell. So we prefer if there's no teachers there's no students, and our people, like I said, kind of well-trained to do this.
So if a teacher's out of the room for about 10 minutes, that'll be sufficient?
That'll be, yes.
I have kind of a crazy question that just popped in my head, but
Yeah.
if I'm a teacher, can I leave my plants in the room?
Yes, you can. Like I say, some of these products, especially the one that we're using for the foggers, it's called Oxine product. It's used a lot in sanitation of vegetables already out there.
Okay.
Again, so they're pretty safe out
So it's
there.
plant-friendly?
Yeah. In other words, we're already using it. Sometimes we just don't know.
Right, right.
Okay, so that's kind of what we have when it comes to the foggers. Definitely, we're looking at other. Maybe get some more, because like I said, depending on the time that we have to clean the classroom, that's going to come out handy. I just want to make a note on this, is keep in mind that we can't just go in there and fog. Any disinfectant out there requires pre-cleaning. So remember what I said at the beginning, if the surface can be disinfected, but if it's not clean, the perception is that it hasn't
Right.
been disinfected. Okay. In the middle picture, we're using some of the disinfectant wipes. So, like, I think we all experienced this, when things got started getting a little bit crazy, it was hard to get any of the supplies out there. The same thing, they used to go to the store and the shelves were empty.
Yeah.
There was no different in here. So the disinfectant wipes are really hard to purchase right now. Other than, on top of the price went skyrocket. I mean, they're pretty
Sure.
expensive. We came out with our own buckets and we're using our own product out there. These buckets are available. This was part of the initial plan. So what we plan to have is having available for each teacher if they want to have, if they wish to clean their area. So they're available. I'm hearing that there's just a lot of coaches out there that's kind of what they use to clean their
Right, to
their
clean
weight room and
equipment
all.
between student use. And all of our employees, no matter what their position, I don't know if you all recall, but at the beginning of the school year, we all went through the training on
The training,
Keenan.
correct.
A couple trainings on
Yes.
how to use these products. So now it's time to start using them pretty soon here, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
and a lot of them are using, like I said, I think we should feel real lucky that we, like I said, that we don't have to worry about not having enough
Right.
for everybody.
We
We're
are.
good. At least in that area, we're good. And the last picture is one of the, I mentioned that this product that we've been using for at least more than 10 years. We didn't know that it was effective until, remember, COVID-19 is something new, and that's why a lot of the companies are really struggling to ensure that their product is on the end list, which is approved by the Environmental Protection Agency. Okay? And I think the most important thing for us as a district, students, parents, teachers, anybody out there, is that everybody follows the CDC guidelines that they have been set up for us. You could probably look that up on the picture, hand
Yeah.
washing frequently. We have all that available. Wear a mask. I know sometimes we're against it. You got to wear a mask. Avoid handshake. I think we're all getting used to, to the elbow.
Or
check
just
that
nodding
out, so.
at people.
Avoid crops. That's really important. I think I mentioned myself that impacted our program. It did.
Yeah.
I cannot afford to have more than 10 people reporting at the same time in our facility. So use the hand sanitizer, which we have available. We have it right now as mainly foam, and I think that's, we've seen that over the years. I think it's better for us. The liquid, if we ever have a spill, now it's a little bit more, especially in the carpet areas. And the other thing, just stay on top of the cleaning and disinfecting regularly. That's kind of
Well,
what
thank you.
what we
That was a
have on
great
this.
presentation. Yes. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. We do need to hear from all of our families. Just a reminder for the secondary survey. Our survey's out now to all of our families to choose for our middle school and high school students whether or not you want your child or student to return to in-person instruction or if they will continue on full-time distance learning. We need to know this for each middle school and high school student so we can adjust our staffing properly. Our elementary schools have received that information from you. If for some reason you haven't contacted them or you didn't fill out the survey, please contact your elementary school site right away because they are staffing the classes right now and making any adjustments they need to do. And for the secondary students, we did have a parent who asked about those students who select full-time distance learning and the lack of advanced placement classes for their students. Our students who select full-time distance learning for 7th through 12th grade, they're going to be using a program called Edgenuity. It's much more independent than teacher-driven, and it's the program that's used at Visalia Charter Independent Study for distance learning. And so our district has used it for quite a long time and has been successful with it. But there has been very limited interest for AP classes in the Edgenuity, and we have to have specially trained teachers just for that, and we don't have those available. So unfortunately, at this time, we're not allowed and we're not in a position to have Edgenuity, those students who choose full-time distance learning, to have AP courses, which is unfortunate, and we just ask that families please bear with us and understand that we can't do everything with the full-time distance learning that we can in the in-person. We're trying to do our best. We have many of our visual and performing arts teachers who have agreed to synchronously have distance learning students come in on Zoom to their classes when they're in person, but that's going to vary by site and by the course. We're going to try to support as many of our full-time distance learning students as we can, as in many ways as possible. So that's where we are with that. I want to thank you all for joining us today, and it's just a reminder that these sessions are recorded, and so you don't have to be present to watch them live. You can watch them on our YouTube channel at any time. So thank you, and again, once again, thank you all for joining us and for helping us understand transportation, the cleaning and disinfecting, and the food services that are to come and that are in progress. So thank you and have a good day.
Thank you.